The topic that I selected from Chapter 4 was the use of pagers and cellular phones. I wrote a policy for the use of electronic devices at Fort Hays State University. The use of electronic devices by school students has increased in frequency and popularity in recent years. Almost every student that we have in class carries an electronic device, most commonly a cell phone, and often uses some type of electronic device during class. From our textbook, it was found that courts have supported the school's authority to ban the use of cell phones in public schools, and that courts will support prohibitions against pagers and cell phones if there is evidence of disruption. It is well established that school officials may prohibit any use and/or practice that creates material or substantial disruption to the education process. This policy will focus on the proper and improper use of electronic devices and will define appropriate use of these devices. School officials are delegated the authority to maintain a safe and orderly environment to facilitate teaching and learning, and to maximize student engagement in the classroom. So this policy was developed by Fort Hays State University administration, faculty, and staff to govern the conditions under which electronic devices may be used and to maintain the Fort Hays State University students' First Amendment freedoms. Throughout this policy, it is important for us to define electronic device as any handheld or wireless device that can be used to communicate, record, or access stored or network data. Such devices include, but not limited to, laptops, tablets, cell phones, electronic readers, PDAs, and electronic dictionaries. Fort Hays State University allows the use of electronic devices on campus and promotes the use of educationally appropriate technology in the classroom. The following policy outlines the specific guidelines and provides appropriate definitions of acceptable use. Appropriate use during the class time. Communication by electronic devices includes but is not limited to instant messaging, emailing, surfing the web, and telephoning during class is strictly prohibited unless specifically designated as part of the learning activity. Students may not use electronic devices during class time, laboratories, review sessions, individual instruction, or similar activities at Fort Hays State University. Devices must be silenced or turned off during class time. Electronic audio or video recording of the classroom environment is prohibited unless permission is given by the instructor prior to the recording. Laptops, tablets, wireless computers, or similar electronic devices may be used for note-taking during class or specified course activities with the instructor's permission. Non-related course activities such as the student checking their email, on social media, surfing the web, playing games, must be avoided by all students. These activities are considered to be a distraction from engaging in instructional activities and foster a disruptive classroom atmosphere. With the rise in popularity of electronic textbooks, they may be used during instructional time for activities directly related to the course with permission granted by the instructor. Unauthorized use of electronic communication or wireless devices during quizzes, examination, or any other activity that is graded may warrant disciplinary action under the terms of the Fort Hays State University Code of Conduct. A course instructor or administrator may prohibit activities that violate laws and/or university policies related to intellectual property rights or copyright, eavesdropping, or sexual harassment. Examples of this include the students are not allowed to use a camera of any sort in the classroom setting. This policy allows special exceptions to exist for individuals with chronic illnesses or other special conditions that warrant the need and/or the use of electronic devices for medical emergencies. In situations such as a personal emergency, family care responsibilities, or employment that require access to electronic communication devices, arrangements must be made in advance with the instructor, and then the instructor will decide if such access is appropriate during class time. Handheld communication devices are an integral part of the Fort Hays State University emergency notification system. The instructor or a designated student's handheld device must be activated during scheduled course times. In an emergency situation, or if a security alert is sounded or sent by the system administrator, the instructor will consult their device to determine if an emergency indeed does exist, and may then give the student permission to consult their own devices. Other exceptions to this policy may be granted at the discretion of the instructor at any time. Sanctions for the violations of this policy will be determined by the Fort Hays State University instructor. These sanctions must be explicitly stated on the instructor's course syllabus for the class. The responsibility of the Fort Hays State University student in the classroom. All students enrolled in courses at Fort Hays State University have the responsibility to all classroom instructors and other students to contribute to a courteous and respectful learning environment. This responsibility includes not disrupting instruction or distracting fellow students, and striving at all times to maintain an atmosphere that supports academic integrity and a commitment to learning. Each Fort Hays State University has the right to enforce a classroom electronic device policy. Handheld and wireless devices can enhance the classroom environment as well as student learning. However, improper use of handheld and wireless devices can degrade the quality of learning in the course setting. So in conclusion, the instructor may prohibit any use of electronic devices that substantially degrade the learning environment or promotes academic dishonesty or illegal activities. If students are unaware whether an activity is appropriate, they are encouraged to ask their instructors. Students are also encouraged to notify their instructors of disruptive behavior they observe. This policy focuses on Standard 3, Standard 3C of promoting and protecting the welfare and safety of the students and staff. By promoting the success of every student, ensuring the organization, operation, and resources for a safe, efficient, and effective learning environment, we are protecting the students by fostering that safe environment that prohibits any disruptive behavior by electronic devices. Also focuses on Standard 3E of ensuring teacher and organizational time is focused to support quality instruction and student learning. By specifically outlining the guidelines for use of electronic devices, we are enforcing the policy that the teacher and organization time is focused on and spent on quality instruction and not dealing with any distractions from electronic devices. So thank you.